At that moment, Cadudal was wearing a bushy false mustache and a pair of dark glasses with a large rubbery fake nose attached, which made it difficult to sip his cappuccino. He sat at the corner table in Matisse, a small bistro. Benjamin, the gruff owner and chef, was drying wine glasses with the bar towel and looking surly, as was his wont. The hair on top of his head was shaven to the same length of the stubble on his square jaw. When Flynn strode through the door, both men and 3 scattered customers turned to stare at him. The swashbuckler put an elbow on the bar and leaned on it, looking at Benjamin, who peered at him over the rim of thick-framed glasses. The bandicoot stage whispered, loudly enough to be heard by all, "I am looking for a man." Benjamin grunted. "This isn't that kind of place." Flynn's ears swiveled forward. "What? We serve food here. You want to make kissy-kissy with a man, you go somewhere else. Don't bother me with that." The Lemurian stood up straight. "That's not what I mean. Wait, is that what you thought?" Benjamin shrugged, looking back at his wine glass, holding it up to check for streaks. "No, I'm looking for a man," Flynn said defensively. "A particular man. Maybe you know where I can find him." "Not my job." "Sheesh. Do you want a baguette?" "No, I already ate." "Then get lost." "Listen!" Flynn pounded a fist on the bar, and all the eyes in the place hardened. "I'm looking to kill a man. I'm on a quest for vengeance, and I'll stop at nothing. Now you'll tell me where to find Leopold Le Loup Moreau, or I'll beat it out of you." Cadudal's false mustache twitched, a drop of cappuccino foam falling from it to spot the surface of his table. Another man, sitting alone, rose from his table and jabbed a finger at the bandicoot, announcing, "I am a devoted friend of Le Loup, and I will defend him unto the death." Cadudal blinked at him in surprise. The man had tousled ginger hair, a square, stubbly jaw, and insolent green eyes, and a bushy black mustache that looked a little lopsided. His hand rested on the hilt of a scabbarded sword, and he seemed eager to unsheath it. "You?" Flynn demanded, rounding on him. "Yes, whatever quarrel you have with him, you take it up with me. I'll not deign to waste my time with a pissant such as you. Tell me where to find him." "Never!" "Then give your friend a message. Tell him the greatest of all swordsmen, Flynn Rathbone, is coming for his blood." And with that, the swashbuckler stormed out of the bistro. Aramis stood with clenched fists, his false black mustache convincingly aquiver with feigned rage, and watched him go. "Young man," said Cadudal. Aramis looked over, and the man gestured for him to join him at his corner table. Now affecting uncertainty, Aramis just waved dismissively and started to sit back down, but the man from Octopus insisted. "Come, friend, and have a seat." Gutierrez reluctantly went to Cadudal's table, pulled out a chair, and sat, the end of his scabbard scraping the floor. "You are indeed a friend of Moreau?" Aramis looked conspiratorially at Benjamin, to be sure he would not overhear, and whispered, "I don't know what you're talking about." "I heard you. I spoke without thinking. I spoke in anger. You must be more careful. But it is fine. I am a friend of Le Loup's as well, but I have not seen him in some time." "Are you? I'm lost here, waiting for instruction. I was part of a raid on a stagecoach 2 days ago, but we were ambushed. All of us died but me, and I would have died bravely too, and with honor, but my horse threw me and I hit my head on a rock." "Why did you not return to your safe house?" "My mind has been touched by the fall." Cadudal tixed and nodded. Then, glancing at Benjamin, he cautiously lifted his dark glasses and showed that the nose and mustache came away with it. Aramis gasped, and the man from Octopus chuckled, lowering his disguise again. "I am the Chouan General, Georges Cadudal." "You are Cadudal? Shh! Right, sorry," Aramis said quietly, pulling his head down into his shoulders like a turtle. "Come with me," Cadudal said. "We can go somewhere and speak more comfortably, and have you back out into the thick of it where you belong." And thus did Aramis infiltrate the cabal of Octopus. Cadudal led Aramis to the back of the bistro to a broken payphone mounted on the wall between the 2 bathrooms. "Are we going to talk in here?" Aramis asked dubiously. The Chouan winked and lifted the receiver, punching in a number on the keypad, 666. Hanging up the phone, he waited a moment, and a secret panel on which the phone was mounted swung open. Cadoudal ushered him into a hidden chamber. "Why 666?" Gutierrez asked. The general shrugged. "It's easy to remember." In the darkness before them was a velvet rope, and a small monkey in a red bellhop uniform regarded them suspiciously. Cadoudal took off his disguise, and the monkey nodded at him, unhooking the rope from its stanchion, and stepped aside to let them pass. The general whispered to his new friend that security was tight as a drum, and the spy had to repress a grin. Not tight enough, he thought. They followed a tunnel deep into a catacomb where the musty smell of crumbling bones tickled Aramis's nose. Dull yellow light from flickering candles faintly illuminated skulls perched on shelves and regarding him with empty eyes. It was an unnerving sight, but he reminded himself that there were little more than decoration now. Aside from a potential weapon to bash someone else in the head, if it came to that, there was no harm they could do. They passed through one chamber into another, where the candles were set upon dusty skulls of what had once been men and women, wax dribbling down to harden upon dusty brows. Aramis couldn't help but wonder what hopes and dreams had swirled within them long ago. What those people might feel about how their heads were now being used. A vague sense of his own mortality awoke, and he was suddenly determined not to end up as one of them. Up until now, this was all a game to him, but the harsh reality of all that hung in the balance made his eyes harden, the muscles of his jaw beginning to pulse. Aramis was led into a large subterranean hall, where many men hunched over a giant map, rearranging small colored flags and drawing lines. Some looked up in alarm, but Cadoudal just lifted his glasses and false nose, peeling off his mustache, and they relaxed. "This is our headquarters," said the Chouan general, "and these are my most trusted men, every man-jack of us dedicated to the rightful heir, Prince Etienne." "My lord," said one of the aides at the map, "we have received word from Pichegru that our illustrious prince needs to recover his jukebox." "Jukebox?" "Yes, my lord." "And that is?" "A box, I imagine, wherein juke is stored." "And juke is?" "Hell if I know." "It must be some source of arcane power with which he'll recover his throne. Do we know where it is?" "In the palace, my lord." "But if we had means to gain entrance to the palace, we'd simply assassinate the tyrant and be done with it. It's impossible. We don't even know what a jukey box looks like." "There must be a way," said the aide. "There is," Aramis said, startling everyone. Cadoudal looked at him curiously, and the spy resisted a smile as he plucked his false mustache from his upper lip. There came a collective gasp from the assembled men, and the Chouan recoiled in shock, but Aramis held up a reassuring hand, saying, "You see, you're not the only master of disguise."